At sunrise, even ordinary roads feel meaningful. Yogyakarta was slowly waking up, and I was riding toward the timeless Prambanan temple. The moment I reached Prambanan, I froze. The first view felt unreal, like nothing I had ever seen before. At Borobudur, the walls weren't just carved, they felt alive. Shiva, Ganesha, Durga, each holding a silence louder than words. I quickly realized how vast the temple complex was. So I rented a bicycle and rode through to Lumbung and Bubra temples. Watching these Hindu temples in a foreign land so far away from India, everything felt strangely connected. I then cycled to Sewu temple, a little away from the others. I stood lost in its magnificent carvings, wondering what remains of us will still stand like this centuries from now. I sat on a stone and simply absorbed the beauty in silence. Cycling out of Prambanan, I was left speechless. I stopped for a final look, knowing I wouldn't forget what I had just seen. Back on the road at around 9 a.m., the day already feels different. I passed through small settlements, Indonesian flags, red and white, flying quietly above simple houses. Sometimes I navigate narrow village roads, just inches away from everyday life. And then suddenly, I'm back on the highway, moving again. The landscape keeps changing, from tight village lanes to open stretches of road. And then everything opens up. Green fields on both sides, banana trees, coconut palms, endless greenery. I see farmers in the fields, just living their day, like they always have. There's something calming about it, watching life move so simply, so steadily. And somewhere in between all of this, I start to feel hungry. I found a quiet spot by the Progo River, stopped for breakfast, and just took it all in. I continued riding, crossing a small river bridge through more quiet villages. Colorful vintage cars passed by, filled with tourists enjoying the ride, like a glimpse into another time. And slowly, the road began leading me toward Borobudur. As I walked closer to Borobudur, its vastness slowly unfolded in front of me. It didn't feel real at first. The scale of it just left me stunned, step by step. I moved upward through its layers, each level revealing those bell-shaped stupas and the silent presence of Buddha within them, surrounded by green mountains. The whole place felt suspended in time, calm, powerful, almost otherworldly. It was the second time that day. I found myself completely lost for words. Back on the road, the temperature dropped and the air felt different. Dark clouds gathered in the distance, quietly approaching. And then suddenly, it started pouring. In Indonesia, I slowly realized something on the road. Rain isn't something you wait out. It becomes your companion. And today, I was riding right through it. The rain lashing against me, the road, everything around me. The ride carried me into the narrow streets of Wonosobo, where the rain blurred together traffic, shops, and everyday life. Wet roads and busy town corners passed beside me. And slowly, the road began to rise, guiding me toward the Dieng Plateau. And with every turn, the scenery became more dramatic. As I kept riding, volcanic mountain ranges slowly emerged on the horizon, and above them, dark clouds hung low across the sky, darker than anything I had seen back in India. Then suddenly, I saw it. Mount Sindoro, the first volcano I had ever seen in my entire life. For a moment, I just stopped and stared at it in silence. After a while, I rode on towards those distant volcanic mountains. As I rode deeper into the dark clouds, everything felt misty, raw, and almost unreal. The climb grew colder, and the world around me began to change. Through the fog, mountains slowly appeared, their slopes covered in beautiful layered patterns, like steps flowing across the land. And then, through the mist, the entrance to the Dieng Plateau appeared. And the roads slowly filled with small cafes, quiet hotels, and scattered lights along the mountain town. And somewhere along that ride, I found myself thinking about the whole day. Yogyakarta, Prambanan, Borobudur, and now, here, in the middle of Dieng. It felt like I had crossed not just places, but completely different worlds. At a small cafe in Dieng, I stopped for some local coffee and dinner, letting the warmth sink in after the long ride. After a while, night slowly settled over the mountain town, lights glowing softly on the wet roads. And then, I slowly walked back toward my hotel, ending a day I knew I wouldn't forget.